Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for Zoom phone training today. My name is Shayna Blackshire. I'm a trainer in ITS, and I will be your tour guide for using Zoom phone this afternoon. Also joining us is Kathy Peppel. She is my fellow trainer in ITS. She will be monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions as we're going along, please feel free to drop questions in the chat and we will try to answer them as we can. Any questions we don't have answers for, we will refer to the experts and try to get back to you with answers on those as soon as we can. This session is also being recorded, so that will be available to you in this Teams chat after the recording is complete. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Our objectives for today, we will go over first how you can log into Zoom phone in two different ways. So you will adjust your settings for many things by logging into the web app. So we will first go to wvu.zoom.us and log in there with your WVU login SSO. So you go through the authentication process, and that will get you to your phone account access in the web portal. And we will also log into the Zoom desktop application, and that's where you will actually be making phone calls or receiving phone calls in the desktop client there. We'll go through how to place and receive calls in Zoom, how you can do call transfer or look at your history, how you can do call conferencing if you need to have a third person on the call, and where you can see your voicemail as well, and the details about viewing and interacting with voicemail. We'll also take a look at how you can view contacts in Zoom and favorite contacts if you would like to do that, have people that you contact frequently, and a few other options for how you can use Zoom phone, and then finally where you can find resources for training and information. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share those links with you. In our knowledge base, our IT knowledge base, which you can find at it.wvu.edu/help, you'll find some basic information about Zoom phone. There's an FAQ and a few guides and articles, as well as links to Zoom's information. If you do have additional specific questions or need help with your department setups, you can submit a ticket to the ITS telecommunications group by submitting to the service desk. It's also there at it.wvu.edu/help. I'm going to switch to sharing my screen instead. And we'll take a quick look at where you can find those. So again, if you go to it.wvu.edu/help and type in Zoom phone, you should be led to this page, which is sort of our overview page. Here you'll find information about the Zoom adoption plan. There's an FAQ, some information about forwarding and delegating your calls, and links to those Zoom resources, as well as links to additional training dates we have scheduled right now. So you can find that information there. Zoom also has support articles for getting started with Zoom phone, and you'll find that on their website. We will first go to wvu.zoom.us in your browser. And when you come here, you will sign in. And you should receive some kind of notification from your department when your Zoom phone number has been assigned. Let me go ahead and shut off my camera there too. So at the bottom, you'll see there's links to their getting started articles and support articles. You can download the Zoom client from this website as well, so that will download the desktop client. I'm going to sign in, and I have already been logged into this browser. So you will land on your profile page when you do come in here. You'll find the phone settings in the menu on the left by clicking phone. And when you go to phone, you will land on the settings tab. There are a few other tabs available here, but you will mainly be using the settings tab. You can see, say, your call history here too, but we're going to start from settings. On the settings page, I'll see my phone numbers. I have a test number that was set up earlier. The bottom one actually is the test number. My actual number is the 293 number, so that has now been set up for me, and I can see that, and my extension number here, which is the same as my regular WVU 293 number. So I can see those there. I'll also see my emergency address that is listed for my location. By default, everyone is going to get this address, which I believe is the WVU Police Department in Morgantown. You can also set up a personal emergency address if you would like to, and you can click on that and it will ask you to add by clicking the add button here. Set up your own personal emergency address if you would like to. I'm going to click cancel, and then I can go back to that settings page. There's a little trail of breadcrumbs at the top. If I click settings, it will just take me back there. I can choose my outbound caller ID, what I would like to display when I call other people. It's going to show my WVU phone number. Again, I have an extra phone number here. I could also choose to hide caller ID. If you do not see that right now, it's probably because your phone has not been turned on yet, so you may not see any options here. My country region will also be displayed, as well as my area code. And any places within the Zoom settings that you see these little question marks, you can hover over those and it will give you some more details about what that field contains. I can choose settings for how I would like Zoom to handle my calls, both during business hours and during closed hours in this next section. So here it has filled in my actual work hours for each day of the week at the top. If I click the edit link next to that, I can change those hours. If perhaps I am going to be working from 8 to 4:30 instead, I can change that on one day, and you'll notice I have little checkboxes over here to indicate which days I am actually working. But once I change Monday, I can apply that to all the rest of the week just by clicking the link over here on the right. That allows me to then populate that change through all of the other fields. I can change it back, because I actually do work 8:30 to 5, so we'll set that back there. You could change your phone business hours also to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you wanted to. I'm going to leave mine where they were. And then you can choose how the calls will ring through. What are the call handling options? So you'll see you have the option to edit which applications actually receive your calls. I mainly use the desktop app. You can also have calls ring to a mobile app if you would like to install that on your cell phone, or if you have a desktop phone that your department is purchasing, you can have it ring through to there. You can change the order that it will ring to by switching from a simultaneous ring, which of course will ring to all three at the same time. If I choose instead to have the call handling ring mode be sequential, it will, if I confirm the change, it'll give me a little pop-up at the top here, and then it will change that call handling to an ordered rank. So I could then select by going to edit. I can now choose I want it to ring first to my mobile phone, and then to my computer, and then to my desk phone. Or maybe I want it to go to the desk phone first, and then to my computer, and then to my mobile phone. So you can select whatever options you want. You could turn off ones that you are not using, perhaps. And when you save, it will reorder or change your call handling options. I'm going to switch mine back to simultaneous ring. The max wait time will tell the system how long it should wait between each of those options. So if you have selected to have an ordered ring handling, it will wait 30 seconds before it moves to the next device. You can choose what the system will do if you are busy on another call. I believe the default is a call waiting, so it will beep in like call waiting. You can also choose some other options. You can have it send forward that call when you're busy on another call to a voicemail. You can have it just play a message and then drop the call. You can forward it to somebody else if it should go to a different extension, or just play a busy signal. So you have options there. Also, if you simply don't answer a call, not that you're busy on the call with someone else, but you're just not answering, it will forward to voicemail, or you get similar options here. I can play a message and disconnect. I can forward to another extension, and so forth. You also have a few other options if you are unable to answer a call. You can allow callers to reach an operator, and this is not a central WVU operator. This would be a person you choose. So if that is selected, someone who calls your phone and when you don't answer will get a voice message menu, and they'll be able to click 0 to be forwarded to someone you choose. And this operator is going to be another Zoom phone user, and you can type in a name and select the person that you would like to have that call forwarded to. They can also have the option to press 1 to leave a voicemail to your phone. You also have the ability to allow a caller to check voicemail. So if you would like to call from somewhere else to check your voicemail, you can call in and enter your PIN number to check your voicemail from your phone. Then finally, you can choose your voicemail greeting. The default is just a voice message that says, we're sorry, the person you're trying to reach is not available. But you also can edit here, and you have some options to create your own audio message. If you click Add Audio, there are 3 different ways you can set up a voicemail message. You can use the text-to-speech option, where you would type in a message here, and you can choose which voice you would like to say that message. So there's some computer voices that will read it for you. So you could put in a voicemail message that way. You have the ability to upload a file if you have previously recorded yourself saying, I'm sorry, I'm away from my desk right now. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can record yourself and upload a file that you already have as an MP3 or WAV file. You can also simply record it right here. So if you click the record button, use my mic. I'm sorry, I'm away from my desk right now. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And then stop. So it will now have recorded it. I can play it back to listen to it. I can re-record if I want to. Please also note that there is a little message here to inform us that we should be careful of copyright law and that sort of thing. So make sure that you have permission to use whatever audio files you are recording or uploading. I'm going to cancel there. Just keep the default. For closed hours, you have the same set of options. So the things I could do up here for business hours, I can also select in what order do I want my calls to be handled during closed hours when I am not at work. How long should it wait in between sending that call to my computer or my cell phone? If I'm busy on another call during closed hours, what do I want it to do with that call? Maybe it should just send it to voicemail. And then you can choose or record a separate greeting for your closed hours when you are away from your desk and not at work. You could record a separate greeting for that. At the bottom, you do also have the ability to create holiday hours. Maybe if you're going to be on vacation or out away from the office for a while, if you click Manage here, you do need to scroll up here and click Add, and then you could create a new set of rules specifically for this time period. So maybe I'm going to be on vacation, and I can select the dates when that would occur. Maybe I'm going to be out of the office for the next week, and I can save that time period as vacation time, and then I can select what do I want to happen when I don't answer a call, what call handling options do I want to go through, maybe only send it to my cell phone, or if I'm going to be out and away from the office. So you can set the same options for your vacation time, or any other reason you would want to set a specific holiday call list. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'll use the breadcrumb trail at the top to go back to the settings page. So below those call handling options for regular business hours, closed hours, or holiday hours, I have some additional options. I can choose to delegate my phone responsibilities to someone else. So if you hover over this, it tells me that someone can answer or place calls on my behalf. And if I set delegation privileges, I'll need to choose a person or to execute that for me or to receive my calls for me. I will send them an invitation and they will get an email invitation. They will have to accept. And then that person will be able to answer calls for me. If I'm in a meeting right now and I would still like for someone to pick up that call, I can allow someone else to do that. There are some options for desk phone settings. So if your department is purchasing desk phones, you can select and edit the primary number. You can choose whether to lock the screen. You can edit the PIN code. And then there are settings for access to voicemail and video mail. You can allow somebody to access your voicemail or video mail. You can set call screening options. So if I turn that on, I can choose to screen calls. I can set up my own blocked list. I can set up a spam list. I can edit the rules for what calls will be blocked. You can choose to receive notification or confirmation when you subscribe to a report through the analytics and reports for Zoom Phone. You can choose your hold music. So here, I think the default music is this tinkly synth bells sort of music that comes with a Zoom Phone. You can also click edit to add audio. And again, you could include speech or upload a file or record something via your computer. Again, please take note of any copyright laws that may be relevant. And then you can choose the audio prompt language. What language would you like the phone audio prompts and transcription to occur in? Right. So those are the settings that you will need to go through the first time you set up your Zoom phone and anytime you would wish to change those. You will also be able to access a number of those from the Zoom application on your desktop. So when you download and install the Zoom application, this will be the same Zoom application you have used for any meeting things in the past, perhaps. You could have meetings and contacts and stuff that you previously had. You will be able to change some of the settings for your phone application by clicking on your name, your little icon in the upper right-hand corner. So if I click on my name in the corner there, I can see my profile information. I can set my own status. So if I wanted to change my status message or set my status to be available or in do not disturb, so please don't send me any phone calls for a while, I can set myself as away or out of the office for a period of time. I can also forward calls from here. So if I click to forward calls, I can choose a person that I would like to forward my calls to while I'm maybe out of the office for a period. I could also just forward my calls directly to voicemail while I'm out of the office as well, and it will play your default greeting message, whatever that is. Also in the settings, I can actually go to the application settings. And when I click there, I can choose a few things like in the audio area. This is where I can check out my microphone and speaker settings. And if I go to the phone settings, I have a few additional options here, like I can choose to hide incoming calls when I'm in a meeting. So it will ring through. If I'm in a meeting, it'll hide that call. All right. You will have a new tab available in Zoom once your phone is active. So you see in the center of my Zoom Workplace app, I have a tab for phone. It has a little numeral on it at the moment because I have an unread voicemail waiting for me. I'll have 3 tabs on the left that will show my call history, where I can see my prior calls that I have placed or received. For each of those calls, if it was somebody who is a WVU Zoom phone user, I can hover over that person's icon and see their information. So I can place a call directly to Kathy. I can see her number. I can click to view more. It'll open her contact information over here in the contacts tab. I could click the phone icon from here to call her immediately. I can also click this little ellipsis and it gives me some more options where I could choose to initiate a meeting with her. I could star this contact so I can make her a favorite to my personal contact list. I can copy her number to paste it into another field, like in the dial pad over here. I could delete a call from the history. So when I click delete here, it will delete this individual call from the history. And you can edit your history list. If you click edit, it gives you little check boxes you can select, and at the bottom I could delete the selected calls. The second tab shows me my voicemail. So if I actually click on any individual voicemail, I didn't intend to play it. If you click on the voicemail, you will see details about when this voicemail arrived, and you will actually get a transcript of the content of that voicemail. You will also receive an email message. This did not show up quite as nicely as I had hoped it would. There we go. So you will also receive a email of the voicemail. So it's a notification to tell you that you have a voicemail. It also includes a transcription of that voicemail. And again, you can play to listen to that voicemail here. I could click the phone icon to return the call this person back. If I click the ellipsis, I get other options. I can share this voicemail recording with someone else. I could create a contact from this caller's information or add them to my contact list. I can mark this call as unread, and it places a little blue dot there. And again, I get the numeral to tell me that I have an unread, unlistened to voicemail. And you see there was another option here to mark as follow-up. So I can put a little red dot next to it that says, okay, I have listened to this, but I need to come back to that. There's something I need to do in response to this phone call. I'll come back to it later, so you can do that as well. You have a few more choices. I can mark it as done if I've finished. I could block the number. I can save this or open the file location or delete the voicemails. And again, you can filter voicemail at the top, so I could choose to show me only unread voicemails or only ones that I have marked to follow up on. And there's an edit option where I could choose to select individual ones that I can delete down here at the bottom. The Lines tab will show me the phone lines I have access to. I only have my own phone line, but if you did have a shared line, that would show up here. I think also if you park a call, that will show up here in your lines area. So let's see what it looks like if I receive a call, if somebody calls me. So I am calling myself from my cell phone, and you'll see I get this pop-up window, and that appears even if I'm in some other application. I'll click accept, and I am now in the call. You can see it starts a counter at the top. It's counting. I'm going to mute both ends of that call so we're not listening to extra stuff. In this call, I have options to add somebody else or place on hold. Now my cell phone is hearing the little tinkly bells music. I also have the ability to transfer a call or upgrade this to a meeting. If this is a verified caller, I'll see that. And you have a little drop down at the top to show me who is in this call at the moment. So I can see me, I am in this call, and then also the wireless caller. Okay. And then if I wish to end that call, I will just hit the red button and hang up the call. To place a call is also pretty easy. You know, I had all the people that I have in my call history. I can call any of them back by clicking the phone icon there. I have in my dial pad area 2 tabs here, and I also have starred people. So these are my favorite people that I have starred previously. I can call those people by just clicking a phone call. I think you get other options to invite them to a meeting. So if I want to call someone in WVU, my cursor is in that box at the top, and if I start to type in a name, it will suggest someone that I frequently call. So I can then click, it tells me here if I click to call, if I click on her name, it places the call right now. So it is calling through to Kathy. Go ahead and mute that so we're not getting, Kathy has picked up. Hello, Kathy. I can then talk to Kathy, and we'll go ahead and hang up when we're done with that call. So you'll see each of these calls is appearing in my call history as we go through. I'll go ahead and call myself back. So I have a call on the line. We'll try a couple of other things. If I would like to add someone else to this call, perhaps I've received a call from a customer or student, and somebody else in my unit might be better equipped to answer their particular question. I can transfer this call to another person in Zoom phone, and I'll just click transfer. You can see I am now looking at the back to call, so I can mute this in too. So if I click transfer, I am on a new screen. I could go back to that original call, but here where I'm on the transfer to field, I can type in the person that I would want to transfer to. If I go ahead and click, instead of immediately transferring this call to her, I get a couple of options. I can choose a warm transfer where I could tell her what the situation is first. So I would get a moment to speak to Kathy before the call actually connects. I can click direct transfer and it will immediately connect to her phone. Or I can, maybe I know Kathy's in a meeting right now. She can't actually take this call, but I would like for this caller to leave her voicemail so she can get back to them later. I can send them to her voicemail instead. So let's try a warm transfer. So if I do warm transfer, it's calling Kathy, ringing through. She has picked up. Hello, Kathy. I have so-and-so on the line, can you please help them? And she tells me that she can, I'll complete the transfer. And now Kathy is on the phone with my cell phone, and I am off of that call. Let's do one more. I'll go ahead and call myself again. So once again, a call pops up. I get this little box that pops up on top of my computer, and it tells me who the call is coming to. If I accept, I'm now on that call. If I wish to add a third person to this call instead of transferring it, I can just do that by clicking Add Call. Again, I would select the other Zoom phone caller that I want to connect to. If I click To Call, it will now call Kathy once again. Hi, Kathy, we'd like to add you to the call. You can see the wireless caller is on hold. If I go ahead and merge, we will now be in a conference call, and I can see all three are in there. Go ahead and hang that one up. All right, and then that hangs up the entire call for everyone. Okay, so that is placing and receiving calls, transferring calls. You do have the ability to view contacts in your Zoom workplace here. So there should be a tab at the top for your contacts. I have a list of starred people that I have selected previously. So again, those individuals, I can see their contact information. I can see their status. Kathy is currently available. She has a little green dot next to her name. Other users I'll see are maybe offline or unavailable, depending on what that little icon shows for those people. You do have a list of all WVU company contacts. At the moment, it is an extremely long list. So you might not want to scroll through there looking for people. There is a search at the top. So if I wanted to search for someone, search for Eric. So if I hover over Eric's icon there, I can see his contact information. If I click view more, it will show me his contact card, and I can view that individual there. If they do not have a phone icon, as many users will not at the moment. We are just at the beginning of this project. So this person has a phone icon. That means that they are in Zoom Phone. I could call them. The other people who don't have a phone icon, they are not yet in Zoom Phone, and you will not be able to call them through Zoom Phone. You would have to call whatever their existing phone number is prior. So if they had a Cisco phone, you can call that number. You would just need to dial the number. You won't be able to find them in the contact list in Zoom Phone. There are a couple of other ways that you can use Zoom Phone. There is a mobile app. So in your phone store, you can download and install the Zoom application on your mobile device. There is also a Zoom application for Teams. So if you go to the apps area in Microsoft Teams, you can search for it. You will find there is a Zoom app for Zoom Phone. And if you open that, it will allow you to sign in here, and you can place and receive calls through Zoom Phone inside of Teams. So that is also an option. And if you have questions specific about your department's implementation, you can submit a ticket. If I go home and go to IT support, you can just put in a ticket directly to WVU IT request, and our service desk will send it to telecoms. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. I hope it was informative. Have a great afternoon.